Hello and welcome to Good Games Well Played, episode 229. I'm Clint, aka JCM. With us this week is Isli
Yo.
and Messiah.
Hello.
Hello. I know,
Hello.
I know you said your secret, your hello sounded really funny because it was like you're stepping up the I am not feeling well.
I
Here
sounded
it-
so normal for so long, and then it just failed me right at the beginning.
you get that bubble that builds up in the back of the throat that you don't know is there. It's like
Yeah.
it hits you with it. But yeah, here we are. We didn't record last week. Everybody was pretty busy and just couldn't get timing down properly. So there were some things that we missed from last week. I was quickly kind of go over some things. Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra got delayed to beyond. I love how they say beyond early 2026. It's like just say 2026.
So
Like
sometime in 2026.
yeah, it's like come on, just you could just say delayed to 2026. Although I think if they say that, it's probably for investor reasons, because then people will think like, oh, it could be the very end, and maybe they just want to. It's like you're not going to hit Q1, so just say mid 2026 or something.
Mhm.
I don't know. And then we also had Square Enix announcing a bunch of layoffs as it made some reorganization changes and whatnot in Japan. Apparently, over 100 workers got impacted by this. So it's
All
more
things considered,
layoffs.
not that bad, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and they don't know how many U.S. employees are being affected by this,
Mhm.
and how many are also in the UK that are getting impacted by it. So we'll see what happens there. But then, along with Square Enix, Crystal Dynamics this week also had 30 more workers in their third wave of layoffs, most likely associated with the cancellation of Perfect Dark, since they were helping that. They had to let go of more people. So
Mhm.
just more
I
layoffs
know
in
that
the
studios
industry.
hire up for games, but it's such a weird thing to me to like hire up a bunch of staff to make a game, cancel the game, fire staff. Like I'm so used to a business strategy where it's like you try to actually keep the staff you have because they're talented and you like try to hire appropriately and flex back and forth that the like hiring and firing cycles of game developers are just very weird. I would not want to
Yeah,
work in that field.
it's like, yeah, you want it like, everybody has a minimum amount that they need just for base stuff during, let's say, the lull or game upkeep if it's a live service or something. But then, yeah, you have all those contract workers that are just, like, going around like, sports players between city to city depending on where the job is, when they get traded. And it's like, yeah, if you bring them on, "Hey, we have some work, we're working on Perfect Dark," and it's like, "Oh, it fell through. Well, let's see if we can find something, either funding for a project we were working on behind the scenes or whatnot." But yeah, it's really weird because I'm sure I don't know what other industry in the US, like obviously there's, union workers who do things like movie productions. And it's like, okay, you're still doing production in the field that you're supposed to, right? It's just like, oh, Spielberg's doing a movie. Okay, we're helping that movie. Oh, we're doing this movie for this person. We're doing like you're still
I
doing
mean,
movies and like that's part of the job.
I work in architecture and like we don't really hire up for huge projects we get and we don't really lay off a ton when like we don't get a project or something because it's really hard to like staff up again with skilled people that you want to work with. So
Right.
whoever's in charge has figured out like the good balance of the ebb and flow of like how to keep people busy until the next big project starts. And it seems like that should be something game developers can do. They just don't.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like, do you have enough income, enough revenue every year to where if you weren't making something, it's like that revenue is just going to taper off versus like, you're in the medical industry, you're in construction. Yeah. Okay. Usually that's also not very steady all the time. It can go up and down, depending on where you are. But it's like, unless you're in some sort of field that is pretty static, it's like, yeah, it's going to be probably pretty hard to keep just that, minimum amount of employees on at all times if you don't have something to work on for multiple years. Like I think about like in China, they have some workers there who just they're they just kind of roam around like, okay, this company needs a bunch of people to work in their factory because they have a lot of orders coming in based on their forecast. So they schedule them like, hey, come work for us for these couple months because we have an influx of, orders or whatever, and to make this product. And then they move and they go somewhere else. Like they have this like roaming workforce that's just like it's probably within the same labor field of like, be warehouse manufacturing, what have you. It's just like who needs it the most based on the market trends of whatever product they're manufacturing. Which is really interesting to me because I'm like, okay, but is it obviously it's not gonna be like a flat wage over there. They're not like a union or something. Um, but yeah, it's like it's interesting how they do it over there for that bit. But yeah, over here it's like I'm not sure of many other places that will staff up. Like obviously no one wants to like you'd want to be working on something like kind of all the time. Like that's that's why those like, oh, we're about to ship our game, but I'm already thinking about the next thing because you have to, right? Like you have to we need to support the studio. Unless you have that live service thing that's pulling that money, you gotta keep making stuff. Or being a support house, whatever. So yeah, that's gotta be tough too, because I think about that like the sophomore slump for stuff. Like, you spend 20 years working on a music album, and you get it out, it's like it's great. It's like, okay, now I gotta have a follow-up. It's like, but I have so much less time because I put all my great stuff in that first album or my first game or what have you, or movie. It's like that's gotta be tough, to creatively to be like, okay, unless you're doing what Double Fine does and you kind of like do story pitch meetings with folks. Like I'm curious how many studios do stuff like that. Like, isn't that how Horizon came about? Horizon Zero Dawn. It was like Gorilla had a couple pitches for ideas, and I think it was like one of like five. I think it's how it went. I think there was like not a mini doc, but like a little thing behind the scenes. That's kind of how it came about. Like people worked on, you come with your ideas, and you have a small team that goes and kind of builds up on the pitch, works on concept art or what have you. I think that's how that started. So, but again, it all comes down to funding too. Like, can you support that, especially if you're someone who can't self-publish in your Crystal Dynamics. So it used to be part of Square, but isn't anymore. So that's got to be even tougher. But yeah, more layoffs. And then yeah, a lot of stuff still going on with the Take Two and Rockstar. Like we talked about before, like those like 30 plus people that got fired reportedly, and people were saying it was over union busting because they were trying to unionize. And then they also delayed Grand Theft Auto 6 got delayed. Totally unrelated to letting go of a bunch of people, I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's like, okay, so that got delayed. And then people protesting outside, I think Take Two to be like, you got to hire these people back. Like, it's just people are so upset
Mhm.
about this thing. So it's like, it's still going on with that. But yeah, it's just like, okay. And then I love how the Take Two CEO is like, our culture is extraordinary. Like, shut up. It's like, you're just
Your
an
CEO coach was extraordinary, I'm sure.
Sure. It's like investment. It's like gotta keep our investors happy. We'll just say it's going well. And then yeah, the only other thing we missed from last week was I know I saw Fortnite had like a big old Simpson event or whatever. Well, it wasn't just like, oh, there's Simpson skins. Like the whole map is like all the points of interest are like Simpsons thing. It has like the Simpsons cell shading going on, so everything looks like the Simpsons. Uh, they have like crazy event. It's like and like a bunch of people going there spending a ton of money on the skins and the battle pass, and like player count like went way up, which is kind of crazy to me because I'm like the only people who I guess it's like all the old heads who like the Simpsons coming back into the game or something. Because I can't imagine the kids who were playing that are like, oh, I'm so excited about the Simpsons.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Uh, I'm just glad I don't play Fortnite anymore because I would hate to play it right now because I'm sorry, I don't like the Simpsons, man. Just like when I was a kid, I did, but like it's how like people don't like Rick and Morty because of the fans back in the day, and like yeah, the Szechuan sauce kid, and it's like yeah, those videos are cringe and not fucking stupid, but like I still watch Rick and Morty, but like the fans of Simpsons, like I can't, like they made me not like the Simpsons. I'm like I'm sorry, I I can't hang around people who make the quoting it their whole
I
personality.
Mhm.
I'm so thrown off by this comment because I feel like that was definitely a thing with like Family Guy and American Dad and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's
I'm trying to remember though the last time I heard someone quote The Simpsons in like the last 20 years. Like genuinely don't think I could think of a Simpsons quote from like the last 20 years that I'm so curious how this is a thing for you.
Well, it's because again, I don't watch it now, but I didn't watch it 20 years ago. Like I stopped. Like I watched it in the 90s, like again when I was a kid, because it's like, oh, it's a cartoon. I could watch it on TV. I didn't think about all the referential stuff they were doing yet. And I watched a little bit more later, but then it was like in high school and after high school, like everyone who just quotes it, like, oh, it's like The Simpsons, oh, The Simpsons did it, that shit. It was just like, which is also why I stopped watching Family Guy, because the same thing happened. It was like people doing the like over and over, or just quoting that thing and
Oh, I
Stewie.
do
It's like,
remember the Simpsons did it. I,
yeah,
you're right. I remember
and
that one.
I just I couldn't, and I say I stopped watching Family Guy, like, and it was just like so frustrating, and like that's why I'm glad. Like I guess when Rick and Morty came out, like if I was post high school or something, I could say like, okay, now if everyone's doing it, like, luckily it's like the people that would quote it, they didn't do it a ton, and it was like okay, it didn't feel like it got that same level because I was older, just got less amount of people I'm hanging out with, and it just I didn't have that. There were the videos again of the people, like, with the Szechuan sauce, and it's like, "Okay, these are just fucking they're not fans, they're just idiots." Um,
Mhm.
and so, yeah, because there are people, like, again, who don't like Rick and Morty because of those reasons that I mentioned for, like, The Simpsons. So I hit escape. Okay. Thought I left Discord for a sec.
Mm.
But yeah, it's just I would not wanna be in Fortnite right now. Just seeing all that, it'd be like, "This is not fun, I'm sorry." Like, it announced,
Unfortunately,
like,
it
a
just
new
becomes Simpsons Hit and Run.
yeah.
Mm.
But, I'm happy for the people that wanna get that, so good good on them. Have some fun. I mean, especially because it is kind of insane that it's a whole map change in skin. They don't do that for the other events. It's just like, "Oh, you can buy the skin in the shop." It's not like it wasn't like Dragon Ball was like, all of a sudden everything looks like Dragon Ball Z. It was just like, yeah, you had the house, you had, Master Roshi's house, but it looked still in the Fortnite style, not in Dragon Ball Z style. Like, very anime, but this is like all Simpsons, so it's kind of crazy. It's like I'm wondering who did Epic pay them to do it, or did they pay Epic? Like I'm curious how that kind of works. Like I feel like Epic probably paid, and that was like the deal. Like, oh, you have to do it this way or something. Like I don't know, but it is pretty nuts at the extent that it is. And then yeah, other than that, not much else from the week we missed. PlayStation 5 selling really well. Apparently, it outsold every Xbox console ever. It's now up to 84.2 million. This article says 84.2 million copies sold. I'm like, brother, it's a console. It's not a movie or a game. It's like
Copies of this
units.
console have been sold.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, it's doing really well despite everybody saying there's, no exclusives and whatnot and why have
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah, people just bitch to bitch, though.
Yeah, because that always annoys me too. Because I'm like, okay, but we're at the point now where it's just the better version is going to be on this console of the two versions. Now, obviously, it's not going to be quite the same as like when there were cross-platform PS3, PS4, where the PS4 always had a massive advantage, especially multiplayer. But it's like you play the better ones. Just like, oh, the new 50 series graphics cards came out. It's like it doesn't make the games dramatically that much better. Like, you had the frame gen, which, like, is, fake as hell, but, yeah, it's like it's not you're not getting that much. You just get whatever benefits are unique to that particular thing, improved DLSS, what have you, but anyways, it's doing well, that's good to see. But, yeah, this week, the big news was, Valve announcing a new Steam machine. We've gone back in time, and they're bringing them back.
Did you see the ad that was like the Steam machine? Yes, it's a PC.
No, I haven't seen that, that's really funny.
That was my
That's
favorite one
awesome.
of like it's just bearing the lead, but it's just like a box that looks like the GameCube
Mhm,
for the Steam machine. And then the ad just under it says, yes, it's a PC.
that's funny.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
just a PC. It's a small
y
PC.
it's a PC. Yeah, there's no price yet. They say it's, like, 6 times more powerful than the Steam Deck. Can't I hate when people use those metrics nowadays. Like, those metrics hit hard in, like, early 2000s. Like, "Yo, the PS3 is gonna be, like, 8 PS2s stacked on top of each other."
I feel like it's somewhat useful for comparing consoles in the same generation to each other. Like if you were to tell me the PS5 is like 10 times more powerful than the Xbox, or I guess the Xbox One, which fucking one competed with the PS5? I'm getting old.
Series
Um,
X and S.
yeah, if you were to tell me the PS5 was 10 times more powerful than the Series X and S, then I'd be like, okay, so that probably means that all of the best games, if I'm going to get cross-platform, they'll
Mhm.
probably make more sense on PS5.
Yep.
But when you have like the Steam variants of even the Steam Deck, where it's playing PC games and it's competing with like Lenovo and all of those other handhelds, I just don't really care how powerful it is. I think I care more of like how optimized the software is and whether or not they've actually figured out how to make things run smoothly and like what the UI is like.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. They list some specs on it, but again, until it's up and running, we'll have to wait and see from like Digital Foundry and whatnot. And again, because there's no price, it's kind of like okay, well, it's coming out in 2026. Like I guess we'll just wait. They also announced a new controller, which I can't imagine it's fun to hold. I mean, the sticks aren't offset, which is nice because I don't like offset sticks personally, but that I feel like that I guess it was angled enough for those two trackpads they have on it. Like my concern is trying to get my control. Like if I'm holding it, I'm like, okay, I don't know. I guess it could be okay to where like you don't have your palms or something, or if you move down on the sticks, the bottom part of your thumb, like do you have to angle your thumb up that way you don't? touch the trackpad, or is it like you know how like on laptops it's like, oh, if you have a mouse plugged in, then the trackpad doesn't work. That way you don't accidentally do something, or you have like touch sensitivity settings. That way if you're typing and you accidentally touch it with your palm, it's like, okay, we won't track that because you're in the middle of typing.
Mhm.
I'm curious like how well it'll work the controller, but with those pads there. But yeah, it's interesting to see. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Like the Steam Deck's doing well for their handheld, and you're revamping the controller that you launched that people didn't really like. And maybe if and the only way you can get the Steam machine is through their store. It's not going to be in retail, and it's only them this time. Not like that was like the biggest issue with the Steam machine back then. It was like everybody made one, and they were all different specs. There was no standardization, so it just didn't fucking work. Like, yeah, you can't. It's like you can't do that. That's not a good way to do it. Because then it's like you got 13. It's like, oh, there's 13 Steam machines. Like, which fucking one do I buy?
I do wonder. So they also had the comments that like you can load your own operating systems onto it and you can just use it as a PC and load your own apps. So at this point, like strictly what they're selling is they're selling a pre-built PC.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So it's going to be really interesting to see when it actually comes out and they release a price, like how well they market it, because functionally it's not any different than a PC aside from who it's coming from.
Yeah.
It doesn't have, first party games. It doesn't have, maybe it has unique UI and stuff, but I'm really, really curious to see like how they market themselves because it's not anything new, but maybe they've done it really, really well this time and it's finally going to be the thing that like gets people to move away from consoles.
Yeah, and since they sell it at their store, there's not that increase in the pricing, so maybe they can what people, like, are speculating what the price could be, but if it's not on the store shelf, you don't have to give them their cut, and so it's only on your stores, you just gotta pay your shipping. It's like, okay, maybe they can do it slightly cheaper than what people are saying. It's like, I can't imagine things like, if they're trying to get some console folks into the PC space without having to get a big old PC, and just like, here's kind of the step into it. This, nice little cube designed specifically to go with Steam OS in there and whatnot, and play your Steam library games and this and that. It's like you can't make it too expensive, man. I mean, I know PS5 Pro is fucking expensive right now because of price hikes, but it's like I can't imagine you doing it, 1,200, even like $1,000. I think it'd be too much, but I don't know.
I mean, like if it's 1200 or something, this is where it's always so interesting to me because I like the concept of a pre-built PC being really optimized for games and being really, really, really easy to use because I think that's the whole fear people have with like playing PC games in general is you have to update the drivers, it gets confusing, you start a game and it just doesn't work outside of the box, you have to like go down this rabbit hole of researching on the internet why your game isn't working. And maybe it's the drivers, maybe it's something else, maybe you don't have enough RAM. Like there's so many stupid reasons. Maybe the game just needs to be patched, but maybe you need to download an unofficial patch because the official patch doesn't work. Like all of that stuff is why people don't game on a PC. And then it's also the like every year you need to replace something in order to keep it running, which is expensive. So they have to like solve all of that for competitors' PC games, like Epic Games. How are those going to run on the Steam machine? Will they even run? Like that's kind of what I'm curious about.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Like I'm saying, I'm curious. I'm not gonna get one, but and I like this simplified little thing. Dbrand had they're gonna make like a companion cube skin for it. It's like, yeah, of course, makes sense for your little cube. Everybody
I
calls
want
it the
them to make a
Gabe cube.
GameCube skin because
Mhm.
honestly, that would be fucking hilarious. I know they
Yeah,
can't. I'm sure Nintendo would sue the hell out of them, but that would be great.
Dbrand will fucking do it because they don't
They don't
care.
care.
Yeah. But yeah, and then also along with that, they announced Steam Frame, which is a new VR headset, but it's a standalone headset. So there's no cords, no wires. It's like a MetaQuest, which seems really cool. I'm excited about that. You can hook it up. You can stream. So it has like a USB dongle you can put in and stream to the headset. But that got me excited of everything they announced. I'm like, okay, because I'm like, it's interesting that you're releasing a new like, if you release a new little Steam machine, it's like there's not necessarily anything you're gonna do that's gonna be like an exclusive, right? But with the new headset, I feel like you could do either Half-Life Alyx expansion or something, like something for it that can kind of show off to be like, hey, play it on this. Because
Mhm.
it's not like they're gonna be like, oh, here's Half-Life 3 exclusive to the Steam machine. It's like, well, it's a PC game. It's just gonna be on PC. Like, it's unless you bundled it with it, and it's like, oh, you get it for free if you get there. It's like, well, people just buy the game on PC anyways and not worry about buying a, $1,000 box or whatever. But yeah, I'm curious, like, what are they gonna do if they're gonna do anything for the Steam frame? But I'm interested to see how much that's going to cost. Spec-wise, it sounds pretty good, and I'm like I said, because I've always been looking at MetaQuest 3S and whatnot, and being on the fence. But this, like, hey, maybe this could be the way to go, depending on pricing. But yeah, a lot of hardware. Do a box, new headset, revamp controller, just out of nowhere. So go ahead, do your stuff. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they have a nice showcase for those at some point. And let's see. Some other news we had this week is Silent Hill F got a patch for New Game Plus to make them, I guess, less punishing. Did you play New Game Plus in Silent Hill F, Isley?
I did, yeah. I wouldn't say I found it punishing at all, so I'm kind of curious about that. I wouldn't. Most of my challenges in that game didn't really come from combats or anything at all. It came from jankiness. So unless the patch is addressing jankiness, I'm kind of thrown off by that.
Yeah, it says uh let's see, you'll take slightly less damage on hard action difficulty, have stamina replenished slightly faster, and you can see fewer enemies across multiple sections. There's also an optional skip feature for some areas in the game plus. I guess there's like sections where you were stuck there until you did something. I guess you can skip them in New Game Plus. I'm not sure. I don't want to like spoil anything. If it's let's see, what's this? This will be welcome news for anyone horror fans. Not because Silent Hill Epic requires multiple playthroughs to unlock its numerous endings.
I
Good
mean,
morning.
there were a lot of parts in a replay where once you already know what to do, they took too long. So the skip feature I definitely can see use out of. But I mean, the combat, like, it's just fucking janky, like kind of tank control combat. That's the hardest part of the game by far. It's not really any of the enemies. It's the like you have to certain boss fights you have to like fight in a particular corner just to avoid like transitions or like weird camera angles or like
Hmm.
the old Dark Souls thing where like if you got too close to a wall and your camera freaks out and it like spins you around in circles. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of what it felt like doing the combat in this game. So that's yeah, I'd much rather see updates to that. But glad they're patching it. It's a cool game. Still
Yeah.
recommend it.
They added a new casual action difficulty, which I guess is even lower than story difficulty. Because it says for players on story action I hate that they call it story action. They just call it story difficulty. Players on story difficulty or higher, the casual difficulty will be selectable upon reaching the game over screen multiple times. Like casual, like to me, story is the easiest of difficulty levels. Like that's why story mode was created. Like casual is even
Yeah.
below that. Like people that don't care
You
about the story either. They're just like,
you would think you would think story is the only challenging thing is getting through the story and that there's nothing else to it.
sure.
Like
Yeah,
logically based on its name.
right. Like you almost can't die, or like it's extreme. It's like in oh, what's the game? I can't remember.
Trying to
Fallout
think of the one that
76.
oh.
Where you if in order to initiate PvP, if someone shoots you, but you don't shoot back, they just do very little tick damage to you. Like they can't kill you until you officially do that handshake to agree to PvP. So I want to like I imagine story to be like that. Like enemies hit you, but you just take like such insignificant damage that unless you just put the controller down and walked away to make a sandwich or something, like you can't die. Like to my mind, that's like story difficulty. Like it's just really hard to die. Uh but casual, yeah, I'm really curious about the changes there. But yeah, like you said, good to see that they're, patching it and giving some updates. So that's good. Let's see. We did get a new patch for Arc Raiders. Had their first big patch this week as well. A new zone unlocked. There's like a community driven event behind it as well, where you like donate a bunch of materials like the community does together, yada yada, and you can unlock stuff along this like it's not a battle pass, but it's kind of the design of like more you level up while this event is active, you unlock these little perks, and you can do some of that by donating materials as part of the community event. Yeah, New Zone. I haven't played the new Zone yet. And then they also tweaked some stuff. They debuffed a perk that was like apparently pretty strong. Was like these security lockers that you had to have a security breach skill unlocked, but required like a lot of investment into one particular skill tree to get. And I guess it was like Omega Strong because these lockers are in like some areas that aren't even like high tier loot areas. They're just in casual places. It's like, oh, but you can't get it unless you're like crazy leveled to get this thing. But the items that would spawn in them would be like a ton of really high end blueprints or high end items. and so they tweaked that a bit. I don't know how much it got tweaked, but then everybody's like bemoaning the fact that, oh, well, now it's not even worth it. I'm like, well, it's still randomized, like whatever. Just I think you can respec in that game. I haven't actually looked into it, but yeah, they did that. Bounced a couple other things, but yeah, that's going on. And then Sony and NCSoft announced the Horizon Still Frontiers game, which is the mobile first MMORPG set in the Horizon universe. And just right off the bat, characters look like those people that go, Aloy's unattractive. I've used AI to make her look prettier, kind of thing. Like it's got that style of visuals in the characters. And I'm like, the combat isn't the same. It's like it's more, and I'm not saying it's like derogatory, but it's like it feels more Monster Hunter, where it's like just attack and like, yeah, okay, there's a weak spot, but you're not like cycling, 4 different weapons to be like, okay, I needed this one to yank the heavy steel, the armor off them, and then I do this one to bind the legs and do, you know what
Mhm.
I mean? It's more generic. Versus not that it's bad, because obviously Monsters, a really popular game, but like it's not Horizon. And I'm just wondering who this is for.
I mean, it looked pretty bad. That was just my takeaway. You put it much more eloquently. I saw it and was just like, I don't feel like this is gonna sell at all. This is weird.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not. I mean, it looks like we talk a lot about how I'll play a genre if it's skinned in a game that I like, which is why I'm probably gonna play that fucking Warhammer Vampire Survivors game. 'Cause I'm like, God damn it, I don't care about Vampire Survivors, but you got this stupid Warhammer game coming out that's themed around it. I'm like, now I'll have to try it. But
Mhm.
like, if I wasn't into MMOs or something, or like maybe I'm curious about this style of MMO, the Korean style, you know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe I'll check, because there's like a lot of these games that are like who makes Once Human? I forget who makes that. But I think it's another Korean developer. Let's see, Once Human. Let's see. That's a NetEase is the publisher, but they have a Pal World crossover going on right now. Starry Studio. Who's Starry Studio? Sorry, I'm just trying to do. I guess there's a subsidiary. I don't. Maybe they. Who knows? I can't. I don't know. I don't know who they are. Like I don't know what they did prior to this. But anyways, like that it's very much still kind of one of those style of games, but MMO crafting kind of survival. But I'm like, I guess like, was this something else? And they go, hey, we want to make it into this. Like they reached out to Sony or something. Like it doesn't feel like a game that started from nothing as a idea to work together to. I mean, maybe it was. I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't look like Horizon, so it almost feels like they made it as a response to that Horizon MMO knockoff,
The other
as
game,
opposed to
yeah.
like the reverse of that, that like the Horizon MMO knockoff came second, the Tencent one, or not Tencent, who I can't remember who made that Chinese knockoff one, but this game itself kind of looks and feels like a knockoff in its own right, which is really weird.
Yeah, it's like I guess Light of Motorim is the name of that. It is a 10-cent game. I guess it makes a lot of sense. Like, okay, because I forgot about the MMO. Like I knew there was Gorilla working on the multiplayer game, but I forgot about the MMO rumors or story from back in the day. Just I'm like, when I heard about it, if they announced it was with NCSoft, I probably was like, okay, whatever. But it's like, okay, I get why they want to go after this knockoff, because it's like a Bugs Life Ants situation. It's like, okay, we're making an MMO, you're making one, you're just cribbing our style. Uh, but yeah, it's maybe it could be good. I don't know. Like people enjoy Once Human and those other games that come. What's the other one that I feel like there's a lot of games recently came out that are like, they're good, but they're not like people aren't spending thousands of hours. They're just like going in, doing the content, and coming back later when new stuff drops. Like, who knows? Maybe it'll be decent. But like, yeah, when I see the watch the video and like the NPCs are talking and I'm looking at them like, this is not Horizon. Like this is not you just put the coat of paint and over it to try to make it look like it, but it feels too many steps away from it. And I'm worried. Well, I guess I'm not worried, but I'm curious. Like, I guess if it's a mobile first, maybe it'll be super popular on mobile over there or something. But like, will it have a negative impact to Gorilla's multiplayer Horizon game that they're working on? Like people see this and be like, oh, they're making a multiplayer one. I like that MMO one that came out. That's kind of crazy.
People are gonna
Mhm.
see this and just be like, "The fuck is this?"
Yeah, I guess. I'm curious to see how well the engine scales to, play on PC. since it is a mobile game. Because like there are a lot, like we talk about in Discord, but there are a lot of like games that have a mobile version, and I don't know if they're necessarily mobile first, but like the PC versions of them and even the console version of the game like aren't necessarily like less than because the game started on mobile. It's just like, yo, you got those gotcha mechanics or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. As long as the engine scales, I guess you can be fine on PC. But yeah, I'll be curious to see like the final product. Again, I'm not going to play it, but we'll see.
I'm so curious if this is gonna start being a trend now, because the second you said like, "Oh, it seems like it was originally something else and now they just skinned it," that's how I feel about Silent Hill F. It's like
Mhm,
this 100% in my mind was a different game, and then they made it into Silent Hill. So it's like, is this going to be a thing now where games are going to come out with familiar like IPs or settings or and things like that, but it doesn't match in a way that's like, yeah, this was made with the intention of being this IP. Like the Horizon game, it's like, no, this was not it doesn't feel like it was made with the intention of being a Horizon game. And maybe it was, and maybe it's just because mobile was the primary market for it intentionally that like okay, maybe that's why it doesn't feel quite as good because of all these like limitations and they have to there was probably a lot of like management interference and back and forth and stuff like that. But it's like, is this the start of a trend that sucks? Where it's like
mhm,
a studio will go to a publisher and be like, "Hey, we have this game. We think it's really cool. We want to publish it. This is what it is." And the publisher is like, "Yeah, but it's not really going to sell unless you make a Call of Duty or
right.
like I don't know, just anything." It's like, "Oh, this is pretty similar to an IP that we haven't really done anything with, so we're going to publish it under that name so that we don't lose the rights to it."
God, I
Mhm,
feel like it could be the start of that. And it's like
I,
everyone develops these games independently, and then just like you're purchasing the skin to put on it.
Yeah, that's what it feels like, it really does, and it sucks. That's a
yeah.
sucky thing to happen and do, but oh my god.
Especially because like that method to me makes sense when it's a first time studio. It's like, hey, we're working on a game, we're looking for publishing help, and I'm like, oh, we really like what you got going on, but like you said, we have. And this is exactly what we talk about with Silent Hill. It's like, but we have a dormant IP. If you can put it in this universe, we'll fund it because we think it'll do better. Makes sense from this is our first game situation. But yeah, for someone like this, like from NCSoft, it's like, what is going on? Like, who they must have gone to because it's probably only gonna be because it's mobile and Sony's not really doing a whole lot of mobile stuff anymore. It must be like, "Hey, we wanna do this. Would you guys like to do this together?" And
Mhm,
then they just said, "Yeah, okay," because it's mobile and that the PC versions will be made by another subsidiary of them, called Purple. So it's like, okay, maybe that's why, like, sure, it's RIP, but we don't do any mobile stuff, so we don't
mhm,
see it being a big deal. Our 2 games already on PC, people wanna play them, so, maybe it's only helpful to our brand, but I'm curious, like, how much are they involved, Because in the video, they had some guerrilla folks, like, talking, I'm like I was, like, skipping through, I'm like, I can't listen to this this push right now, I'm just gonna skip through bits and watch sections of it, yada,
mhm.
yada, but yeah, we'll, be curious to see how it goes, though, once it's, all said and done, and especially if it's gonna be, like, free, I don't even know if most of those games are well, because like, Genshin Impact's free, right?
Yeah, it is,
Yeah. I guess it was mo yeah, because
with
it
an
usually
immense amount of microtransactions, but yeah, it's
right,
free.
right. Yeah, I'm sure, like, this will be probably that same way because mobile first, like, get free, but a lot of
Mhm,
microtransaction stuff. "Oh, you wanna buy a crafting bundle pack?"
yeah,
"Wanna buy a new skin? You wanna buy the Aloy skin?" You know?
mhm.
Should be all yassified. All those folks want it.
God, if you have to buy an Aloy skin for the Horizon MMO and it's not a free or unlockable, that would be
Yeah.
they're totally
Honestly,
gonna
that
do
would
it,
be
aren't
really
they?
funny.
Yeah, they're gonna do it. They're definitely gonna do that.
Yep.
Mhm,
But yeah, weird stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, there was a lot of stuff we've had delays, layoffs, Steam machines, Horizon MMOs, delays. Just a lot of quite a big amount of news. So I'll be curious to see more about the Steam stuff though, once they can show more of that off. Oh, I did see, man, I saw one thing. I didn't save it, but it was like Kojima posted a picture of him with it was like some graphic artist or something like that, holding up a copy of one of their books. I think it was like signed. But Turkey like or someone picked it up and like, oh, but it's all about blaming our country for, or like siding with some part of a genocide historically or whatever. And then so like Kojima took down the photo of him, and then Kojima had to put out a statement basically saying like, he doesn't agree with the person's views on whatever. It's like just likes his stuff, man. Like just because you like, he's like, doesn't mean he agrees with the message. He's like, oh, maybe he likes the art style or whatever. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's like I could like Baby Driver, doesn't mean I support Kevin Spacey or the other guy. Like I just like the way Edgar Wright does his stuff, man. It's fun to watch. But
Was the issue that they were saying he was saying the U.S. was responsible for genocides? Because it's probably
no, no,
not an
no.
untrue
It
statement in a lot
it
of
was
instances.
another Kojima. Let's see, Kojima Turkey issue. Yeah. Okay. Here's the article. Here's the blah 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 blah. Disney itself from Italian cartoonist after deleting a photo of the pair meeting at Luca Comics and Games, 2020 earlier in November. It's just him together. He's alongside Michelle Rich, author of graphic novels Cobain Calling from 2015 and No Sleep Till Shangal from 2022. Blah blah. Both novels document the struggles of war, but sympathizes with the Syrian Kurdish YPG militia accused by some humanitarian groups of using child soldiers. That's what it was. Very Metal Gear 5. And the U.S. does not classify the YPG as a terrorist organization. Said the U.S. has partnered with the YPG and the broader Syrian Democratic Forces (SDF) as an ally in the fight against the Islamic State in Syria. And then let's see who picked this up. In contrast to that, Turkey, a NATO ally, which views the YPG as a terrorist group due to its close ties, they basically called out. Their Turkish media called it out, saying, "Hey, why are you supporting this guy who does this?" Essentially, and
Mhm.
it's like that's not
Oh, that's a big
why.
old nothing burger. read a ton of media and love a ton of media where we're the bad guys or like things are mixed up, but it's like that that's just storytelling.
Yeah, it's like he's like, oh, he really likes Philip K. Dick's Man in the High Castle. Dude must like Nazis winning the
That's,
war.
that's what I was just
Right.
thinking about. I'm like, Man in the High Castle is great, and it's like that doesn't mean you like support Nazis running the country, but
Right. Yeah.
that's a great piece of fiction.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just a weird story. But yeah, poor Kojima, man. He's like, oh, with this person, Italian cartoonist holding up the thing, like it's just they and the fact they had to put out a statement so funny. Especially because it was just like it wasn't like, a huge thing, a huge other country with a lot of sway, I guess, like calling it out. It's just like it was just Turkey. Like, I guess. Do you have a lot of sales in that country going on? I don't know. But anyways.
I feel like they
Yeah.
also just, like, Streisand affected themselves where nobody really would have known about, like, these ties or this thing or anything like that. Like, I doubt a
Right.
lot of Kojima fans would have looked at that picture and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna deep dive into this other person," and blah, blah, and everything like that. And so now that they had to put out the statement, everybody's like, "What's going on with this?" Actually. So,
Yeah, it's definitely like he just made people dig into it now. It's like,
yeah,
oh, I gotta find out about this. What's going on? What do you what do you mean? But
it's so weird.
yeah, it is weird. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the news. Trying to see if I have any notes. I've been trying to do a better job of taking notes of stuff for the podcast. Outside of just like comments for games or like any other thing I see. No, that's it. So we can go ahead and jump into what we've been playing. Now we've been out for a week, and starting the podcast, Isli, you said you started playing something new that's very single player or story focused.
Yes, that I couldn't play. So I picked up Dispatch.
Oh, nice!
Ooh.
And I'm
I'm
really
waiting to
into
play
it.
that.
Yeah, it kind of surprise dropped on me. Like I've been tracking it for a while and I didn't realize it had released, and then I saw the article that like the full game was out and everything, so I picked up Dispatch. I have been playing through it. I absolutely love it so far. So it
How
is
many? What
basically like
episode?
I think I'm on like episode 3, 2.
Okay.
So like 20-ish percent in. So it's 8 episodes long.
Yeah.
But it's basically you are an ex superhero who is like Iron Man-esque who loses his Iron Man suit. So you are in charge of managing and dispatching a team of supervillains turned maybe heroes, and trying to send them out to little missions and protect the city. But it's very much a like telltale type narrative game where the gameplay kind of comes from which superheroes you send where. There's like a little bit of resource management with like the supervillains needing to rest and recover. leveling up your supervillains, trying to like send the right people to the right jobs based on their stats. So it's like a little bit of resource management too. But I they've done a really good job making all of the supervillains somewhat in this gray area of, I'm trying not to give away spoilers because since it's a narrative game, like all the main
Mhm.
beats are really cool to witness. But they've done a good job making all of them somewhat ambiguous of like they're not good people, they're not bad people. It's not like it's the boys where they're all horrible people and you don't give a shit about them. They
Right.
humanize all of them in a really nice way. Which makes all of the like when someone fucks up or does something bad or you screw up, it makes it so much better. So there was like I can't even give spoilers on like story beats I've witnessed just because it came out, but maybe we'll talk about it in like a week or two after you've played it. All this to say, I very much enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying it. The animation is great. The voice acting's great. It's basically half critical role people, so like really famous voice actors, and then the other half is like actual famous actors that are doing voiceover work. So stellar cast of people. The story is really interesting. It proceeds quickly enough to remain interesting. So something I've always kind of struggled with Telltale games is like usually they followed a structured format where like if it was a 4 episode game, episodes 1 and 2 are making you like the characters. Episode 3 has something horrible happen, and then episode 4 is the climax slash it's where someone dies in a Telltale game. Like that's basically how they did it. This doesn't seem like each episode so far has been telling the story in a nice way that it doesn't seem like it's following that same structured approach, which I've really appreciated. I haven't been able to predict things. I have no idea. So I haven't really read any spoilers about the game, so I have no idea where it's headed or like how it's going to resolve. I suspect there are different endings in the game, but like I can't predict if it's like, supervillains take over the world and you just fail, or if it's like the God, what's the Wendigo game? Why am I blanking on it?
Until Dawn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Until Dawn. Or like if it's something like Until Dawn where it's like you succeed either way, but like the success or fail state is based on like how many of your people survive. I have no idea which way it's headed, but highly recommend it. I think it's only like $30 or something. It's really fun so far. If you need a chill game that's still engrossing, definitely a good one to pick up.
Yeah. How would you the one thing I heard was like, because it's originally supposed to be like a Netflix show, like
Yeah.
an interactive Netflix show, kind of like Bandersnatch. And it got changed to a game. Do you feel that in the quote unquote gameplay sections where it feels like is it really pared back and way more like dialogue focused, or are there like some good kind of breakups with like actual interact? Like I know the dispatching part of it where you send people out, it's kind of like that's like a game of it, quote unquote game of itself, like a little click around, whatever. But like, does it feel very like, okay, this was clearly supposed to be like a TV?
It doesn't feel like it was clearly supposed to be a TV show, and it's kind of hard to answer. So you can level up your characters and you can distribute stats when they
Hmm.
level up, and then they succeed or fail missions based on their stats, which is kind of like the gameplay element to it. And I think it's hard to say because it's not clear to me like how much of an impact there is if you fail things yet. If it turns out that, as you level up stats, if you level up incorrectly or screw things up, that it massively changes the gameplay story, I would say it doesn't feel like a TV show. If it turns out that like the leveling up process and the stats don't really matter and you're driven towards one ending no matter what, then I would say it probably does feel like a TV show. It has more gameplay than Telltale games, which I consider those basically just like dialogue trees. Um, so it's got more than that, but it is definitely a narrative. It kind of reminds me more of a visual novel type game, but it's like a really well done visual novel, and it feels like it was a visual novel made for Western audiences as opposed to like Japanese audiences.
Okay, yeah, I was really curious, like how that would
It's
play
pretty
out.
light on gameplay. Yeah, like
Okay,
it's
yeah,
pretty light on gameplay.
okay, yeah, and then I've seen like everyone's cosplaying characters from it. I'm seeing a lot of those pop up, and I was wondering because I was like, would this be a good game to stream? But I'm like, if it's super like just dialogue, I'm like, probably not. Like I know people are streaming it, but I'm like, because you
I
gotta
think
listen, you can't really commentate over it.
I
Like,
think you could stream it, and I actually think it might be fun because it would be more like a process of like watching a movie with friends or something. And the dialogue choices, I will say they happen fast enough
are they
that you
timed?
well, some of them are timed, but
Okay.
I more so meant that like the story beats happen
Right, right,
quickly
right.
enough that it's not uninteresting. So
I
it's not
yeah.
like you're reading like 20 minutes of text or listening to 20 minutes of text and then you make a single dialogue choice and then you're like listening to 20 minutes of text. It's much more that the decisions happen, every few minutes and in between you're playing little mini games. So it is
Okay.
actually like I haven't watched anyone stream it because I don't want spoilers, but having played what I've played so far, I think I would enjoy watching someone stream it. I actually think it would be like kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, I feel like it would be like, if you really liked it, it would be fun to watch you play because of the choices, and I feel like that's if the dialogue if the choices are pretty frequent, that's right, it's a Hideo Metal Gear game or something with these cutscenes. If it's like, okay, the dialogue's not timed, so it's like, oh, something happens, and then I can commentate like, oh, well, blah blah blah, this and that, and then I see the options like, oh, I should just go for this one, like the dick move, and there or like put a vote or something like that could be funny, but
Mhm.
it's like maybe that could work. And then if you've already played it, yeah, seeing the different options that people make or whatever in a choice driven
So
game stuff.
some of the dialogue decisions are timed, but you can
Mhm.
pause. So the way I would envision it is like if you had a dialogue decision, you could pause it and talk through your logic of something like that.
Yeah.
And I think that would be interesting. But if you're just like, I choose this, like it's probably not going to be that fun. So it depends on how much you'd want to, discuss the story as you were
Yeah.
playing it.
Yeah. How long are the episodes?
Uh, I don't know how long the future ones are. They've all been like 30 to like 45-ish minutes so far. Well,
Oh, so not that long. Okay.
no, the first one was pretty quick. It's I don't think it's a long game.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can especially if it's supposed to be part enough. I'm just wondering like would it be like, oh, 3 streams I could do like or 4 streams like 2, 2, 2, 2 like through them all or something like that. Like, okay, we'll do 2 episodes. Go through them if they're only like 45 minutes or something like that. And then
It's crossing my mind now that they're probably all about 30 minutes, and I'm thinking like, I wonder if that's where the episodes were broken up, like when it was supposed to be a TV series.
yeah, I guess that makes
That's
sense.
actually
Yeah,
kind of how it feels. So I'm actually wondering if that's how they structured it. Is like each episode is basically like an episode of the TV series, which sounds really obvious now that I say it out loud. And I'm like, why didn't I put that together before?
yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it'd be longer because of the if they expanded on the game stuff. Like that was my curiosity versus just being like if it was way more dialogue heavy. But
I think that the first episode took me like 40-ish minutes to beat, but I also like paused a lot in between to think things through, which didn't bother me. And I also kind of like got interrupted while playing it a little bit, but they're not hugely long and they are kind of great to like pick up, play it a little bit, set it down, pick up, play it a little bit and set it down.
yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah, I definitely want to pick it up at some point. I'm not sure when I'm gonna get to it. But yeah, I do want to play it. Get there, but cool, good stuff. Look forward to hear how because now that's all out. I think it got like a 9 from IGN. Steam's overwhelmingly positive on it, so people are
I
loving
think
it.
it's been getting good reviews and I've enjoyed it
Yeah,
a lot. It's hard to talk about it because you haven't played it yet. And everything that's a spoiler in the game that I want to talk about is based on like specific things that you would want to experience yourself.
right. Yeah.
But I'll probably beat it, honestly, by like next podcast. I imagine I'll be done with it
Yeah.
since I think it's
Yeah.
only like a 4 or 5 hour game total.
Yeah. All right. Well, Zai, I know you are still playing Nessie, right? I guess it's
Mhm.
Nessie plus one next year. Okay, it's telling the activity saying plus one every activity. Okay, I thought it meant Nessie plus Michael or something in there
Who's
on the
also
Discord.
playing it, so
Yeah,
that's fine, but yeah. Yeah, this is basically all I've been doing. So,
Nessie.
past week, though, I got sick, so I
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
really like, I would come home from work and go to bed,
Yeah,
but basically, anytime that we did get to play a game, we were playing this, so it's still incredibly fun. Um, we basically finished I guess, like, the main game or the first half of the game where it's kinda like a core keeper where there's, like, bosses that it kinda directs you to, and there's, like, a little quest giver that's like, "Okay, now go find this boss and kill it, go find this boss and kill it." And when that ends, there's kind of like I kinda think of them almost as, like, chalice dungeons, where it's like you build this altar, you get these little, like, stone tablet gateway things, you put it in, and it generates a level, basically. And you go in the level, you either, collect a certain amount of resources or you kill a certain amount of monsters, and then you can spawn a boss. And then when you kill that boss, you can get stuff from it, you can get upgrade materials, and you get to the point where you can, like now you can upgrade your weapons, now you can upgrade your gears. If you have a gear set or a weapon set that you like, you can just keep upgrading it. Like, for me, I have well, technically I have 3 different builds, but my main build is like a magic build, and the magic weapon that I really like to use, I call it the big gay book because it's a book that shoots rainbows. Um, and so I was getting really sad because it was kind of getting outdated, but now I could upgrade it. So now my main weapon is my big gay book again, and that's awesome. But we're basically just doing that now, and it kind of goes up in tiers, so it goes up in difficulty. And of course, you get more and more materials to make new armor and upgrade and further and further. So it's just like you're kind of trying to get to the top tier, to get to. I'm assuming there's like a super boss or like a true end game boss or something. But that's basically just what we've been doing now. And unfortunately, by putting down that altar and starting to do that, whenever we have like invasions, you'll get like raiders or gangsters will attack, pirates will attack you. Very weird the things that will invade your settlement. But now they're really strong, and I can't actually a little bit earlier I had to mute and get Michael's attention because we were being invaded by something that was kicking my ass. And I was like, I need help. I need help. I can't do it. Um, so unfortunately, that made the raiders really strong now, and our villagers or our settlers are continually dying. Uh, so that was unfortunate, but we're working on it. We got to get them geared up again too, but that's fine. But yeah, that's pretty much sorry, that's pretty much all we've been doing when I, am able to actually sit at my desk and play a game.
Yeah. You know, that goes, you get stuck in a game, you're like, all right, this is the one. Gotta
It's
gotta stick with it.
basically yeah, it's basically the same thing that happened when we played Court Keeper, where it was just like, I think pretty much yesterday, we took a few breaks yesterday, but the weekend before that, this is all we did on Saturday for like
Hmm.
12 hours. So,
Nice.
Yes,
um,
I mean Core Keeper's great. So if this game is being compared to Core Keeper, that sounds
yeah,
fantastic.
it's Court Keeper on the surface, but there is also underground places. There's 2 levels of underground you can do, and then also sometimes your base gets invaded. So it's just you can
They don't have any plans to bring it to consoles though, do they? It's just a PC game.
not that I know of. I honestly didn't even know about this game until it went 1.0 and Michael sent it to me and he's like, "Hey, this looks fun." I was like, "Ooh, pixels. I like pixels." And then yeah, we just got obsessed with it. So I don't know. I think it would be
Isn't it God, it's made by someone famous, isn't it? It's made by someone who like splintered off from not Stardew
uh
Valley.
let me see. I have the
I gotta
story
look this up.
page.
I thought it was a spin-off game or like someone's first game by someone who
Developer and publisher Fair Games APS. Who's it? That's the only thing
Well,
they
Fair
have
Games,
on
a
here.
Sony game.
Fair
Yeah, I'm curious.
Games. Yeah, it
Maybe.
just says.
I'll look it up later. Maybe I'm mixing that up with Neverway, but I thought that it was like a spin-off game of two people that like disagreed with each other, and I thought it was like Stardew or something like that, but
I
I
mean,
might be making it up.
honestly, it seems that way. It seems like this was made by somebody who has either made a game like that or has played an incessant amount of like Stardew, Terraria, Core Keeper, all of those things, and we're like, I can make this game, but I can make it better, and just like kind of combined everything, but not in a messy way. I mean, there's components of this game that we haven't even messed with. There's like redstone, basically, where you can make like wiring, you can make tracks and mine carts, you can make like traps and pressure plates and stuff. If you wanted to, you could turn this game into just like a tower defense game where you build like a center base and then you build out from it. And anytime there's a raid, the point is for you to not actually fight the raid, just like try to trap them and uh like lure them into traps and stuff like that. So it's like you could absolutely play the game like that if you wanted to.
Nice.
But it's very fun. I'm building houses.
That's good. Do you have anything on the horizon that you're looking forward to that kind of like, or anything? Do you have anything on deck that like you want to play, but like you're so sucked into this, it's like it's taking up all your time?
I do have a couple things kind of lined up, because I have a 12-hour flight ahead of me tomorrow,
Hmm.
and then next week a 9-hour flight back, and then a couple hours of traveling while I'm there. So I have a couple things on my Switch. I am Setsuna and Alliance Alive that I want to play, and I'll probably get pretty far into. But other
I am
than that,
Setsuna is great.
I know I'm excited to
That
play it.
game's so good.
I hope I can just like play it in one like big sitting. That would be so nice. I know that there was a cozy game that just came out. I think it's called Heartopia. Heartopia, something like that. I don't know if that's on PC, but honestly, like the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to is the next update for Final Fantasy 14, which
Mhm.
is not until like mid next month anyway. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I haven't really been super focused on like upcoming stuff because I have such an insane backlog as it is, and also like this upcoming trip has consumed every like ounce of brain power that I have left to spare. So I think after this, I probably will actually go back and be like, okay, what did I miss while I was in a fugue state of anxiety for the past month and a half?
Mhm.
But I'm gonna
Yeah.
buy some games while I'm there too. We'll see.
That'd be good.
All
Yep.
right, I looked it up. Neverway is the game who is made by the artist who did Celeste. I was like, I knew there was something like that coming out, but it
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
Necesse, it was Neverway.
Yeah.
I have, like I said, I haven't been playing too much, just a bunch of Arc Raiders. I did try to play a little bit of, I played a little bit of Balatro the other day. I was out somewhere and it's like, okay, I'll just play Balatro on my phone. I had this weird glitch where I went to use the Ankh. I had 5 Jokers out of 5, and the Ankh is like, oh, create a copy of a Joker, destroy all of the Jokers. But I had 2 Jokers that were permanents. And I was like, okay, I'll just use this just because I'm pretty early in run. I don't care. It's like the final gold stake for a deck I've been trying to beat on handheld forever. And so I go to use the Ankh, but it goes, oh, you don't have any room. I'm like, brother, you're supposed to destroy the other Jokers though. Like I got other Jokers that are not permanents. That if you made a copy of a non-permanent, you still have 2 more you can get rid of, make space. So the Ankh just couldn't be used. But then the Ankh card just became free floating. It was out of my consumable pool, but it was just floating on the screen. I couldn't do anything with it. I couldn't sell it. I couldn't use it again. It was just floating there, and I can keep playing. I was like, "What the hell kind of glitch is this?" Then, so I just had to like roll in the game. I was like, "Okay, well, I don't. What a waste. I can't use the damn
What
card
deck were
now."
you trying to beat?
It's the one. I forget what name. I think it's the. I think it's the Ghost deck. It's the one that lets you. You start with the card that lets you turn any Joker to 1.5 times malt, but it destroys all of the Jokers. It's like the spec. I forget what the card's called, but it's like essentially you just throw it on the first Joker you get. It's like you instantly get a 1.5 times Joker. So hopefully you get like a Joker with a malt, and then you get that 1.5 to kind of get like an early lead. I think it's the Ghost deck. But I'm on Gold Stick with it, but I've been on Gold Stick with it because I on PC I beat Gold Stick with a different deck. And this is the one I was using on mobile that I got like all the way up to Gold Stake with it, and I'm like, I just want to beat it. Like I can do any other deck and I'll be fine, but like I gotta beat this one just because like it's this hanging chad of accomplishment I gotta finish on mobile. As I keep going back to. But yeah, weird glitch. But yeah, I just been playing a ton of Arc Raiders. I just like taking all my time, uh, just having fun with that. I was played a lot with my cousin, but then he's out on family vacation for like 3 damn weeks, the fucker. So he's not there to play with anymore. But I played a couple nights with another small streamer. And then one of his viewers will play like trios and run through. But yeah, just a ton of solos in the game. It's just so fun. It's funny, like, how friendly the solo lobbies are on PlayStation. I turned crossplay off. They're just playing like, yeah, it's, like, super friendly. It's,
Is
like,
this
so
the game
rare.
where you sent me that message the one night and you were like, download this and play it with me at 9 o'clock, and you sent it at like 8:30 and you were like,
Yeah.
download it immediately.
Yeah. I was like, "Play an extraction shooter with me." But yeah, it's so fun. I I had a game the other day where I was walking through an area just doing a mission. I was on my way to do a quest, and then, I'm just running through a zone, and then I'm looting, and I hear some footsteps, and I do open comms, I'm like, "Friendly, friendly," 'cause you know what you do, and then the person shoots you in the back, I'm like, "Ah, what the heck?" And so then I go over, and then I knock them down, and I go, "Oh, you," I think I posted the video in Discord, but I was like, it's like, "Huh? Yeah, look what you did." It's like, I got a revive, I can pick you up. Do you want it? I was like, "You got a mic?" They didn't have mics, so I pick 'em up, like, "Alright, I'm gonna go do my thing, you go kill someone else. Get out of here, like, you made a mistake." And then, I just went to do my own shit. But, and then I had another one where it was like I had a quest where I needed to get some stupid olives, and there's this one map that has like a lot of olive trees. It's like I'm just gonna run a free kit, which is like it's great that this game has that free kit option. It's for people that are so like risk averse to losing stuff that they've unlocked or got or whatever. Like the free kit just lets you get a random gun. one of the random basic guns, and then you get heals and then like an assortment of consumables or throwables. So it's like it's always random. It's like sometimes you get a good gun, sometimes you get a gun that maybe it's not so great against the arc or whatever, but it's like it's just that's you get. And if you extract out, you can sell the free kit augment to an upgraded to one of the vendors to give you like an actual good one. Like, oh, you can get the looter one, or you get like a combat augment. It's like a little better. And the downside to running the free kit is that you don't have a safe pocket. So the safe pocket's like you can put an item in there, and then if you die, you don't lose that item. So it's like, oh, this is a great item. I really want this. And you go to extract. If you get killed on the way by the arc or other players, it's like you don't lose it. So it's like usually you do that for like blueprints or whatever, yada yada. So that's what that's for. But you don't get that on the free kit. So that's the trade off. But I was running a free kit. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get some. I just need a couple olives. I just gotta pick them up. So I run free kit, go into this map. It's like really bad for free kits because there's a lot of arc there. And I get the olives, and then I go around. I'm like, all right, let's go extract. And then I hear someone call the extract location because it makes like a loud noise, when people are doing it. I'm like, okay, start running there. And there's like this little like tiny building. It's like essentially like a garage or utility room. And I see some dude run up to it and just start blasting someone inside it. It's like, oh, a little unfriendly over there. Like they weren't even fighting. They just went in there and started blasting. And then they're in there looting. And I had my free kit gave me like a couple impact grenades. I just picked this up and just chucked that shit into that room because he's got no room. I break his shield, down the guy, and then I kill them and then take their stuff. And I'm just no mics involved. I was just like, because I never kill anybody uh, unless they shoot me first. But I'm like, fuck it, I'm on a free kit and they killed them. This is revenge. And then took all their stuff and extracted out. But yeah, it's a fun game. And then even like usually when you play duos, like duos are kind of friendly on console. Like you can do a little, friendly. Um, I've only had a couple instances where people like, my cousin and I were split up and people shoot them and then chase them down and then we fire back and go our separate ways. But yeah, trios is like, especially when I play with the other two folks, is are on PC, so we have crossplay on, obviously. Like I feel like trios is very much like, okay, people are usually shoot on site. We did have one instance where someone were friendly, like, hey, friendly, friendly, we passed through. But usually it's like if there's people nearby, we're gonna shoot. And I had this key for like this one zone. Like the only way to loot this high tier area is with this key. There's no other ways in. And I was like, oh, I got this key. You guys want to run it together? I'm like, oh, well, let's run it at night because at nighttime, usually there's better loot drops. And I don't know if the percentage tables are necessarily refined enough. I haven't run a ton of night ops, but it doesn't seem necessarily like it's super good. Like you might as well just run it daytime because there's also more arc at nighttime, as well as the visibility and whatnot. But we go there and it's like this main building that when we go there the first time, it's like, of course, it's already unlocked. Someone's been there. Okay. And we get in a fight and we get out. And oh, we'll go try it again later. And then like load in. Sure enough, people are just fighting right outside the thing. So we're like sneaking around. We're watching this stuff going on. They're fighting. They're duking out. People are dying. People die. A flare shoots up. Like essentially like a call out to other players, like, hey, I need your help. Like, pick me up if you got a revive. And they're going, and we're just watching people get in these fights, and then we're like picking them off and third partying, and then we're just watching them get attacked by people on the other part of the map, just shooting at them as well. And it's just these fun like minutes, and all the matches on a timer. And they do that thing where I think the way Tarkov does it, I think it's a little different. Where like Tarkov has escape zones, but I think they're on like windows of time. So it's like, oh, this extract is open for the next 5 minutes, then it closes. But it might open up again later in the match. And I don't think the matches in Tarkov are timed. I think you can stay in the match as long as you want. But in Arc Raiders, you have 30 minutes. So, and there are usually like 5 group extract points. And one will be open the entire match. And then they'll change. And then one will be open for like 20 minutes. And then one for 15 and one for 10. So it's like as the match goes on, the number of extract locations are less and less. So kind of like if more people stay in the match, it funnels them to that same extract. And there are some what they call arc hatches, where it's like a raider hatch, where you can get these hatch keys and you can go to them and they stay open the whole game. And you use the key, and you like your whole team can go down and escape super fast. You don't have to wait for the elevator or the train or whatever to come pick you up. But yeah, it's a fun game. Like it's so funny how like friendly it is. Like people aren't that again on console aren't that much of a dick. I had one guy I was fighting a big machine by myself. I was getting close to killing it, and some guy's trying to snipe me. And usually it's the people with the free kits that are like that because they're like, they have nothing to lose if they die. So they're like, oh, I'll try to pick up the people that are a little more kitted, which is also like, well, I have the better guns, so if I fight you, you're gonna die. But I had some people doing that. It's like, okay. I had one guy kill me the other day where I was like, I was going around looking for some damn prickly pears for this dumb side quest, and I was like, that was like hanging leftovers. Like, I need to get these damn fruit, man. And I got aggroed by a couple arcs, so I'm shooting these arc, and then, like, I can take them out, they're fine, I got the weapons for it. But then, like, some guy starts shooting at me, while I'm fighting the arc, and I'm like, "Oh, I can't focus on him because I gotta take these guys out, otherwise they're gonna mess me up." So I focus on the arc, I get the arc out, I go, "Hey, friendly, friendly," and, but he keeps shooting. I run around the corner, I heal up, and he turns, but I couldn't heal all the way because the heals got they're like a tick HP restore, when you heal. And then he kills me because I got, I just can't take him down quick. And he's like, "Sorry, man, I've been drinking." And I'm like, "All right, all right. You take my stuff. I'm trying to get my damn prickly pears." But uh, it was funny. But yeah, it's a fun game. I definitely want to try to be like shoot people in the foot or something. Just give them something to fear a little bit. Get a little adrenaline running, being like, "I'm just trying to scare you, just trying to scare you." But it's a
Just keeping you on your toes.
yeah, it's a fun game. I'm really enjoying it so far. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to playing the new map. The game does not like you to play on Wi-Fi because I like the tick rate for the game is like must be super low. Because when I was playing on on my PS5, I had it on Wi-Fi, and every multiplayer game I play on Wi-Fi. Battlefield 6, no problem. Other multiplayer games, no problem. No problem playing Rainbow Six Siege, no problems. But playing this game on Wi-Fi, I would get like the server notification issues all the time. Like, oh, there's a server problem, there's a desync, there's a lag, there's this, and like in that kind of game, you can't have that. And I was like, what is with the servers? And I'm like, so I bought like a new Ethernet cord, ran it under my desk, actually did some cable management, so it's not just free floating. Run it, and now it's like so much better. But yeah, I'm like, just it did not like Wi-Fi, man. It must be like because the tick rate's so low. It's like if there's any hiccup in the Wi-Fi, it's like then it just misses the tick. And that's just a huge error because you don't have enough of them from the server like you do in other games. I'm like, man, it's like it's just packet loss galore. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I gotta stay plugged in. So yeah, hopefully they which I think maybe the finals is like this as well because the same people that did the finals. Yeah, fun time. And a lot of people are still playing it. I do want to
What
go
other
back and
games are on your list?
well, I mean, I do wanna play Dispatch. I wanna go back and play more, Battlefield 6, because they had some new stuff come out for that, and I'm still enjoying Battlefield. I did not play Arc Raiders, just I actually did some Warhammer painting, so I was like, "Okay, let's paint some Warhammer, watch some videos," so I didn't play them, but aside from Arc Raiders, everything else, like I said, Dispatch, at some point, I will play Outer Worlds 2, I don't know when. I still wanna play Chronos New Dawn, like, there's a bunch of games I wanna play and games I have that I can play. And, like, we talked about it, I think, last time, but, like, Last Caretaker came out in early access, officially, that I played the demo, but I'm like, "I'll wait and see how much content is in the early access because I don't wanna, like, play it and have it be like, oh, it's one of those games where, like, by the time 1.0 comes out, it's gonna be, like, a totally different game or, like, way like, a ton of quality of life stuff." There's a small streamer I follow who she's playing it. Maybe I'll, ping ask her, like, how she's enjoying it so far and yada yada, but, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I do wanna play, it's just I got my itch right now just like with Zion Necesses. I do you
Yeah, I
ever
don't
Don't
know
know
how to
learn how to say
pronounce
the
it
how
name?
either.
Ness
Yeah,
Nessie.
Nessie, yeah, like,
Pretty
with that,
not
like, that's all
Nessie,
I
but
wanna
maybe
play.
it's Nessie.
Nessie.
Yeah. Like, I just wanna play Arc Raiders, like, I dreamed about Arc Raiders, like, I just wanna play Arc
Are
Raiders
you
right
gonna
now, like,
play
that's
Stalker when it comes out in like a week?
the revamped version for PlayStation?
Stalker 2. The
Right,
Stalker
yeah,
2 Heart of Chernobyl. Yeah.
yeah, right, it's like they updated it for PlayStation because it was Xbox only.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah, it's the PS5 release, but it's the patched PS5 release.
Yeah, probably not right away, like, maybe eventually, but, like, again, I still have to go back and I guess since my cousin's gone, I'll probably just beat Borderlands 4, because I'm pretty fun, just play that solo, go through there, but yeah, it's, I was running around I told, the other week, mentioned I was playing Far Cry 5 just again, it's like, "I'm gonna rerun and play Far Cry 5 because I like that map and I like being in there," but, no, so right now it's just Arc Raiders is, like, that's if I can play something, like, that's all I wanna play. I do need to find something I can play when I'm not playing that at night, like, usually that would be auction not included. But I need to find like, play something like there's a lot of things I would like to play, but it's Arc Raiders, man. I gotta play freaking Arc Raiders. I just love watching the clips. The same thing happened. I knew it would happen too. Like everybody's playing it, yada yada. All I'm like, I know at some point it's gonna be like, it's super popular, and then some streamer who just no life's the game forever is gonna say like, oh, there's no content. After they put billions of hours into it, whatever. And it's like, sure enough, fucking Shroud's like, oh, the game has no content. And dude has like, 180 hours in it, but he doesn't do any of this. He just plays it. He doesn't do any of the quest things
Mhm.
whatnot. I'm like, which is also I wouldn't play if the game didn't have the quest structure, which is what I like about Gray Zone Warfare. I wouldn't play it. Like, I don't think I would play it as much as I am now because I like doing like, oh, I have a new quest. I got to do this. That's my objective. Everything else along the way is just icing on the cake, right? It's like I get into PvP action, whatever, fight some arc, find new items, but I'm doing the quest. Like that's my objective. And that's what I love about Gray Zone. And this, it's like if that wasn't there, I wouldn't play it at all. But like, yeah, he's like, oh, it needs more content. It's like, dude, you play it like fucking 12 hours a day. Like, you burnt yourself out. That's like, and 180 hours is like a good amount of time in a game. Like, come on, man. But
That
it's just
is
that.
it's literally the same thing in Final Fantasy 14, though. People will finish the MSQ and like I don't know, maybe sideways and stuff. Be like, this game doesn't have any content. I don't play it. I don't understand how people can play it so often. It's like, first of all, you're not crafting, you're not gathering, you're not fishing, you're not doing the end game content, you're not doing the
Hmm.
savage content or ultimate. Shut up.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, or like in Arc Raiders, they have a so they're not doing resets like Tarkov does, or like Gray Zone Warfare does it during every major update. They'll do a reset, so everybody starts back at zero. You lose all your stuff, and that's how they keep it from, in those kind of games, someone having like the no lives and the people who it's like hardcore, just only playing this after work, whatever. It's like they have all the best stuff. So the new players kind of hard if there's PvP in a game to get into it because like everyone's got the best thing. So they do a reset
Mhm.
to kind of bring everybody down, and that's when a lot of people come back during resets. Uh, they don't do that in Arc Raiders right now, but they do have like a voluntary. Oh, at the end you can do this expedition where you kind of build up this thing, and then if you do it, you voluntary reset. So kind of like a prestige in Call of Duty, but you get perks and you get like, oh, you get. I think like you level it faster, you get a bigger stash at the start because like your stash space is kind of a big thing. So it's like there are perks to do it, but not necessarily the perks that make you do better than other players in the PvP. I'm like, okay, but they did say, depending on how it goes, we might do wipes. So we'll see what happens there. But
I kind of
um
like that approach of a perk system, like giving people faster leveling or something like that based on how many times they've done it so that they can get back to that same point. I think that's kind of cool.
yeah, yeah, it's and I wouldn't mind because if they do, because like I said, like at some point I'm going to stop playing Arc. And it's not a game where it's like the PvP is necessarily going to be like, oh, just because they have a good gun means that they're better, or that they put in 500 hours means they're better. It's like the combat. It isn't, a Call of Duty. It isn't Battlefield. It isn't that situation. It's very like, Arc is very much a game where like if you play it safe, a lot of it is like typically whoever gets that shot off first, like you are in a big advantage. Especially if you plan versus like no one's ever like face each other one. Oh, I did have a funny, a very like cordial PvP where like we were playing trios and we were doing a quest, like doing whatever, and then someone opens a door and I was like, "Friendly, friendly," and they said, "No, we want a PvP." I was like, "Oh, you want a PvP? All right, okay, let's PvP." And then then we all the two squads, we just had this big old PvP fight. That was a ton of fun. I'm like, that was hilarious. Like, I would probably PvP way more if someone's like, "Hey, you want a PvP?" Like, you just start doing it. But
Hey, you wanna
yeah,
fight? Let's fight.
yeah. I I I I do wanna start just like I talked about before how one of my favorite things to do is there's this tower in the first map where I go on the top of it if I have a suppressor for my sniper rifle, and I just overwatch people trying to extract who get aggro from the arcs, and I shoot the arc so that way they can get away. I like this, wa watching out for them, It's fun. But I kinda wanna do that, but, like, be a little bit of a heel and just, like, shoot them a little bit to scare them and then hide. So, like, just to make them feel something. But, I have been putting, like, booby traps on the extract locations, being, like, a little trigger mine just to scare them. Be like, "No," so there's one, it's like a stun mine, so they can't move for, like, 4 seconds because 'cause they're getting electrocuted. I'm like, "Oh, that's gotta, like, scare them because then they're wondering, like, "Is anybody here?"
This
Uh
is like the most chaotic good thing ever of like you want to help them, but you just want to fuck with them a bit.
Well, again, because a lot of again, it's that if everyone's too friendly, it's like you kinda wanna have that that little bit of a scare. Like, I'm not gonna ki or, like, I kill them, but then I pick him back up. Like, the person who attacked me, I'm like, "Did you learn your lesson? Alright, you get back up." Uh, but yeah, it's just I really
That
enjoy
is
it.
such,
It's a
like, a
lot of fun.
dad thing to do, just, like, you're like, "Okay, I'll be right behind you, don't worry," and then you, like, flick him in the back of the head, you're like, "Oh my god, what was that? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you feel
Just
Yeah.
that? That was
I just wanna
weird.
fuck with
What
them a
happened?"
little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it is fun. We were playing squads, and it's like we were just playing shoot on sight because we're like we can't. It's like we did run into like a friend. It was funny. We were playing trios. We ran into a guy. He was by himself, and we were like friendly, friendly, and he's like, "Oh yeah, just friendly. Sorry, it's like someone killed one of our squad, but he's down the way." Blah blah. Then his teammate, the other living person of squad, showed up later, like a good 30 seconds after the guy talked to us, and then kind of moved on. And then they just started fighting one of the guys in our squad, and we thought it was like I thought it was the team that maybe were shot his buddy and were chasing him down. So they get in this fight, and then they're like, then his friend's like, "Oh, whoa, whoa, that's my buddy, that's my buddy." And I'm like, so they were too far out of range to hear us talking in open comms. So like they didn't know that we already established a friendly situation, and they just came in shooting, and it was really funny. They said sorry, and they gave our buddy they shot up a bunch of meds, but playing trios and, like, shooting people is just a lot of, like, sniping them across the, over the map, whatever, while they're fighting Ark, and seeing people get aggroed by, like, these Rocketeers, which are, like, really dangerous Ark machines, and, like, it's so funny. Uh, what I the other thing I wanna do is there's these arcs called Seeker or, not Seekers, they're called snitches, and, like, if they spot you, they call down, like, 3 arc from the sky to come fight you, and you can kill them, and you can take their component that does this, and then if you it's a throwable, so you can take it and you could chuck it, and then you call the 3 bots on someone, and they don't aggro you, like, they aggro whoever's close to that the where you threw it. So, like, I kinda wanna pocket just a bunch of those, and then, like, when people are running around, just fucking chuck a bunch of these things at them to spawn, like, a ton of arc machines on them and just mess with them. I think that'd be pretty funny. And, like, it'd be a good time. Chaotic good, like you said. But
That
yeah,
last one's not chaotic good. That last one's just
that's just
chaotic.
chaotic. Yeah. Uh,
Chaotic evil potential.
yeah. It's fun that they have, like, these events that happen on the map, like, there's these harvester events, like, this giant queen robot comes out, and it's, like, usually people go do that and, like, come together to fight the machines and whatnot to get better loot, but anyways, it's a really fun game. I like playing it. The one thing that pissed me off, though, was, like, because I watch a lot of art content or, like, it pops up in my YouTube Shorts and my Instagram Reels because, it's popping off, so people are posting all this shit. I'll see it, is, like, people that were playing it'll pop up like, Co-Carnage, who I don't watch, but I see his shorts and reels sometime pop up. And there was, like, this bit where when Arc Raiders first came out, people in chat would be like, "Hey, did you see the IGN review, for this game?" And then you're like, "No, I didn't." And he'd read it, and it'd be like it talks about how, like, the game's, it's competent, feels kinda like a Fortnite with a coat of paint, blah, 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 it's, this, like, it's very kind of like a middling article, but it's a preview from 6 months ago during one of the closed, like, betas or alphas, and I'm like, "That's not a review," but then everybody picks up on it, like, then Shroud commented on it, and, like, all these other people that keep showing up my feed, I'm like, "These chatters don't know how to fucking read, and no one knows the difference between a review and a preview," and it just was pissing me the fuck off, and I'm like, I was getting every time it pops up, I could just get so mad, and then it was like and then IGN came out with their actual review, and they gave it a 9, it's like, yeah, but people don't give a shit, they just and then all the comments like, "Oh, IGN, I can't spell ignorant without IGN," it's like and I'm not, like, trying to defend IGN or even the person who wrote it, it's just, like, reading comprehension skills are just out the door, man, like, people don't get it, like, it's so annoying, and then it's more annoying to me that people like Code don't even, like, read that it's a preview and, like, correct the viewer. They just
Mhm.
and it's like because you
They just
seem like kind of
perpetuate it because he also doesn't have any reading comprehension.
right, which is annoying because he seems like kind of competent streamer, like, maybe he was in the developer thing or whatever, like, he seems like from clips I've seen, kinda like a smart guy. I was like, "Okay." Not like, yeah, obviously, like a Shroud, like, I don't expect anything from him, but, it's like, it was just fucking annoying, man. I was getting so mad. But yeah. And then the other thing I have on here is that, man, I went to the, I got a Warhammer store in the city south of us, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna swing by the Warhammer store the other day." It was like, in the afternoon. It's like, "Oh, my lunch, I'll go swing down. I wanna see
I
if they
thought
got
your
some
store
stuff."
closed. Did I make that up?
That was a hobby shop that was in my city closed down. They had some Warhammer stuff, but they weren't the official Warhammer store. This is like the official it's called Warhammer out in front, like the official store. And I was like, "Oh, I wanna go see what they got, see if they have this tank I was looking for, or just to see their inventory because you can't view it online." So I go down on my lunch, get down there, and I walk up the door, and it's like, "Oh, we're closed from 1 to 4 for training. Come back later." And I was like, "What?" And then I go on their Facebook page, and of course, on their Facebook page, sure enough, they post like, "Hey, we'll be closed for training, blah, blah." I'm like, "1, you're like the official store for Warhammer. You have 2 days a week that you guys aren't open. Can you not do training then? And also, like, can you not do training at night after you close?" Like, it's insane to me that I should have to watch your Facebook page to know whether or not you're open or closed. Like, if you're closed because someone's sick, totally get it, you know? But, like, for training, I'm like, is me not buying something not considered training to teach how to do a transaction? Like, I was really annoyed. I'm like, because they were like, "You're not a mom and pop, brick and mortar store. You're an official Warhammer store." Like, I don't know, it just pissed me off because I, wasted my time going down there. Like, I shouldn't have to look at your goddamn Facebook page to make sure you're open.
Find
I
out if
was
you're open or not.
I was so mad. But whatever. I ended up going back like a couple days later. They didn't have what I was looking for, but anyway. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Probably gonna play more Arc Raiders. Hopefully, maybe at some point I'll I don't know, maybe stop and play Dispatch now that everything's out, or try to play Dispatch maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Because the only time I can play Arc Raiders is late at night. So it's like if I'm not
It's
streaming
a
right
good
now.
one. I
So
mean, you could probably beat it in like 4 to 5 hours. I do think it would be good. You could do like a stream, and you could just do like 2 episodes each
yeah,
stream, and just do
maybe
like
I'll do.
4 streams for it.
Yeah, maybe I'll do like an every other day thing where like maybe like stream it like Monday and then like Tuesday if I want to play Arc Raiders, I just play Arc Raiders and don't stream or something. And then like Wednesday do some dispatch or something. I could see you doing that, like not doing it every single day necessarily, but yeah. Yeah, other than that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up there. Yeah, thank you all for tuning in and listening. Thank you, Isli. Thank you, Zaya, for joining.
Yep.
Mhm.
And we'll see you all next time.
Later.
Bye.